And I'm curious to hear what have been sort of the parts of modeling that are maybe the most romanticized that don't maybe match that in reality. In the sense, like, you know, not to shit on modeling at all as a in any way, or to shit on the experience, or to like take away from the magic that I can imagine that that career path can bring, but more to sort of just shed light on the reality of it for the sake of proving to people that the grass is always greener.
Yeah.
Do you know
Well,
what I'm saying?
I think it definitely goes without saying that, like, there is hair and makeup and lighting on, like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yes.
the physical of it is not always that way, right? Like, I think
Mhm.
that's with anybody, anything, and I think that you're in the best hands most of the time, and you're in, like, the best setting for your, like, physical and all
Totally.
the things. And so I think that when it comes to, like, someone on a cover of a magazine or, like, in an editorial, they're gonna, like, probably, it's not always that perfect and that shiny.
Totally.
So there's that, but I think that kinda goes without saying, and I think that as for romanticizing it, look, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I've had, like, a really, like, I've had the toughest journey and,
Mhm.
all those things. I think I've been extremely fortunate. But
Mhm.
I also have had, my own set of challenges, and whether that be, whether it's overworked or whether it's not getting a job that I would have really loved to get. I think that something that is to be said about anyone who would want to get into it, or that has any idea of it, is it is a lot of, like, self-love, like a big self-love
Yeah, that's what I
journey.
was gonna
Like,
ask about.
yeah, it's like it's very you have to have such a strong relationship with yourself to be able to go into it, because it can be cutthroat, and it can be like you are sometimes like, "Oh my god, why didn't I am I not, enough for this job," or
Mhm.
whatever. So there are those moments, or, people also in the industry can be really, like, tough or blunt or brutal, and so I think there's those types of things for sure. But again, I'm so grateful. I've had, like, a really, beautiful experience, and again,
Mhm.
came with some of its challenges as well.
I think a lot of people, myself included, would have assumed like, "Oh, this is probably the confidence boost of a lifetime." Like, this being your career path or whatever,
Yeah.
being able to do that. But then I think the truth of the matter is it's like you're in this sort of business of just looking a certain way in a way. And
Yeah.
it's like in a lot of ways, I think, you do have to figure out how to put your worth elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I don't know how in the world a young
A young
woman could
girl, yeah.
possibly manage that